Welcome to
I thought y'all knew.
I am your host, Tyrone Bridges. Let's get it.
Never saw it coming. Yet he 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 never saw it coming.
Living in the light of my life.
There it goes again.
Welcome, everybody, to I Thought You Knew. I am your host, Tyrone Bridges, and I have a very special guest on the show with me. This is Bernice Lindke. She is running for Superior Township Board of Trustee. Say hello.
Hi, how are you?
All right, wonderful, wonderful. All right, without further ado, tell us about your campaign and talk to us about what's going on with you.
Okay, so I am running for re-election for trustee for Superior Township. This is my third year, and my term is up in November. It's been quite an experience, an eye-opening experience to be able to serve our community in our township and learn about governance for Superior Township. We've done a lot of great things these past 3 years, the board and I. I'd like to share some of that, but before I do that, I want to talk about what drives me or what sort of drove me to become to run for trustee. A few years ago, during the 2020 election, I was helping the clerk out during the election period and was doing some things in the office. And what I noticed when I was in the office was that, gee, this would, rather than hearing people come in and complain about what's going on in the community or offer some suggestions, maybe I could help be a change agent and run for a trustee. Since I'm retired, I'm retired from working at Eastern Michigan University. And so when I ran, I wanted to run on the platform of accountability, that I will always take responsibility for what I say and what I do. I wanted to run on transparency, that people ought to know what's going on with their government, how it runs, why we need to do certain projects or certain things in the township. And it should be that people can come in and just see what's going on and be okay with it. And my commitment, since I retired, I still really enjoy having a purpose. And I find that there's no greater purpose than to serve people. So those are the three things I think that drive me to stay as a trustee. So.
All right, tell us a little bit more about your background at Eastern Michigan University.
Okay, so I started at Eastern in, I think it was 1991, in the financial aid office. I was the director of financial aid, and when probably 15 to 16 years after that period, I became, I was going up, being promoted within the enrollment division. And I think it was 2006, I became the interim vice president for enrollment. In 2007 or 2008, I became sort of the interim vice president for student enrollment and student affairs. And then I actually competed for the student affairs enrollment vice presidency and got that. I retired in 2013 after my husband had been retired for 2 years and wanted to spend more time with my family and traveling, and I did that. And I'll tell you, I kept getting consulting jobs in higher ed, and realized I still had more things to do and more more drive to change things. Finally, I stopped consulting. That's when I started thinking, okay, I need another purpose. And one of my degrees, I have a master's in public administration, that helped me decide that I wanted to do something in government. And I'll tell you what you learn in a master's program. You can learn all about governance, but you have no idea really how it works until you're there helping people out.
Right. Okay. The biggest question for me is the Sycamore Meadows and Danbury Green. Danbury Green.
Mhm.
What developments have you guys been working on with them, and also what more in the future?
Oh my gosh, that's a great question. So, and it goes back a few years ago during the pandemic, if you remember, a lot of municipalities received ARPA funds, or American Rescue Plan funds.
Right.
And it was, we had an incredible opportunity in Superior Township because we received about 1.5 million. And a few of us started talking about what good can we do with this money, and actually sat down and developed a resolution to target the qualified census tract area in our community. The qualified census tract area, they're designated areas. And what that means is that there are areas in our community where people really need services, but they have lower income. They're higher need financially. So we were able to target all of that money to our qualified census tract, or to the people that most needed it. And we had proposals for lots of different services. For instance, community members really wanted a community center. I had been talking about it for years. So we devoted some of the money toward that, at least getting people from Washtenaw County government, talking with Superior Township, talking with Ypsi Public Schools, to come up with a plan to eventually have a community center close by Sycamore Meadows and Danbury Green. There were lots of different programs that we implemented through the help of our Parks and Recreation Department. One was a Washtenaw Intermediate School District program, and it was called Trusted Parent Advisory. It was a Trusted Parent Advisory program where you matched parents in the Danbury Sycamore Meadows area to their peer parents, so that you could connect them and they could help each other out. And during the pandemic, for instance, you had a lot of children or kids that had to stay home, right? We were all isolated, and they were receiving their education in the home. A lot of people had technology problems. And so these trusted parent advisors that were already in place could help the parents with technology problems, or they could help the parents with parenting, like if someone had a question, and it was parents' peers. So that was a really great program. There was another program with the Mighty Oaks Project, and this was a sports program for kids, for youth. It was directed at youth, and it was to help or to encourage kids to play. They played soccer, and there were the students were getting fed with both of these programs. So there was some food involved. But the great thing about it was you were connecting people together, and you were enriching a community. We were all part of that community, and it was great that those funds were devoted to that particular community. Another project that's coming up, we have a contract for it, is a farm that's going to be around MacArthur and Harris Roads. And this is a farmer named T.C. Collins, who will be farming the property there, helping people learn how to plant things. Starting there, he's a very determined and exciting person. He wants to teach children and youth and adults all about farming, raising crops, and then they'll be able to reap the benefits of those crops, right? They'll be able to reap the bounty, if you will. And also they probably are going to have a farm market there. So that's in the works. I know that they cleared we were at a board meeting the other night and I saw pictures where the land has been cleared. So that was going on. There was also a program for, I think it's called the Youth Arts Alliance, where people were coming in and helping young people just with the arts, creative arts, bringing in supplies, again, feeding them. They were that program. I think they had some classes in the library. You know, the libraries off of what's the road now? Is that okay? Harris.
Yep.
Harris, yeah, it's like, okay. And the library itself being open in November of 22, that was great, you know? So in the last 3 years, we had the grand opening of the library. There's more programming, people are getting used to using it. You know, also in that area, we voted on improving the lighting. So at night, you know, you have better lighting in that particular area. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Well, with the community center, during this time, we also established a community center advisory board so that the community could, you know, members would be invested in the community to not only help design the building, but also talk about the programs that they want included in that community center. So there's a lot of exciting things that are happening. That's one of the reasons why I do want to run again, and I want to see this come to fruition. I really do, because there's been a lot of planning. It'll be fun to see the community center. But those other projects that I talked about are all underway, except for the Clay Hill Farms project, the farm that's going to be in the area of MacArthur and Harris. And they're probably going to be planting some things this year, but eventually it'll be far greater than just that.
Right. Okay. All right. The old Cheney.
Yeah. So that's a partnership. Well, the Washtenaw County government is trying to purchase the Cheney property from the Ypsilanti Public Schools. That we're pretty sure they're getting close to having that done, and I look forward to that being finalized.
All right. Tell us how we can actually get in touch with you and let us know your campaign information.
Okay, so I don't have it all together yet, but we're talking. Actually, I was talking to my husband Mark about that. I still have a few signs in my garage, and he was just telling me this morning, you know, we've got to get you out there. And I said, okay, you can be my campaign manager this year.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do, in preparing for this interview, I went back to look at all of the other things that were happening in our township during the last 3 years. And there's been some really amazing things. So I did a list, Tyrone, and I think that list, I'm going to share it with some of the other people that are running. We have some, you know, I don't know if Rhonda McGill, I want to give a shout out to her because she is a terrific partner.
Yes.
On the board. She's passionate for the community. I love working with her. So today we were just talking about all the great, you know, you don't always get a chance to look back at everything that you've accomplished. And we've accomplished a lot over the last 3 years. We've accomplished a lot. And there's a lot to be done. And I'll tell you, I know you're not asking me this, but I want to say this. We have had so many of our residents come to our meetings and actually participate now. When I first got on board, our meetings, you wouldn't have a whole lot of people coming in, but the whole idea of having, governing or just being in a democracy is you have participation, and our meetings are pretty well attended now. And people can come up to us and talk to us there. We need, Rhonda gets out in the community, I have to say, a lot more than I tend to do. I'm a little bit more introverted, but I am a worker. So when I talk about being committed, we always know I'm gonna do my homework. I'm gonna research whatever's going on so that we can all be and I can share that with the others, and we try to make the right decisions for our residents.
Okay. And when is the board meetings? When do they meet?
So the board meets every third Monday unless there's a national holiday. And if there is, then they'll meet that the next day on a Tuesday. The board meetings start at 7 o'clock. We have some long board meetings, like sometimes they actually go to 10:30. and they're always interesting. We accomplish a lot, and we have a point where people are able to present information to the board about what they're feeling, what they would like to have accomplished, or just if they want to come and say, you need to do a better job on that. We'll listen, I believe that over the last 3 years, we listened a lot to our residents and made some decisions that improved some of our services, our administration, our staffing. We did some wonderful things for our utilities area. It's been a great experience.
All right. All right. And I wanted to talk with you about that big old hole that's right there at when you turn off of Clark and you're going down MacArthur. That big old sink, that drain hole, it didn't drop down probably, I want to say about 1.5 inches right there.
Okay, I haven't been out there, but I know about it because I'm a walker, and I live north of Getty's. It's sort of around the Dixboro Green area. And a few weeks ago, I saw Washtenaw County Road Commission filling holes in our area. And at the time that they were filling the holes, I was on the phone with someone from the township. And I said, oh my gosh, here's the County Road Commission. And this person that I was on the phone with said, well, ask them what they're going to do about this hole, that's over on, it's on MacArthur, right?
Yes, it's on MacArthur. Right when you turn off,
they know about it. It's a drainage. And what I was told is that they will be on it. They will be fixing it.
Okay.
So it's really funny. It's funny that you're asking that question because there are people, we're all sort of connected and we're always talking about, okay, what else is going on? But I am aware of that.
All right. Wonderful. All right. And anything else you want to talk to us about or tell us that you're proud of?
I made this, Tyrone, I made this list, and let me just see if there's any, well, of course, I'm really proud that you see these all over the place. The pedestrian, the pathways, the walking pathways, right?
I seen that.
We had our residents come in and say that they wanted an extension on the pathway that was on Getty's Road to go to there's a charter school, and there, I guess some people were walking. The pathway goes up to a point, and I can't remember the name of the street. But a lot of people wanted that to be extended. So we heard them. That's going to be extended. That'll happen probably, I don't know if they'll get it done this year, but the plan, they're already starting all the planning on that. And there's a pathway also on Plymouth Road, from Dixboro Road to there's a restaurant down there that, the borough there. So there'll be a pathway there. We're excited about those. We're excited about some of the roads that are being fixed. On Monday, we talked about establishing a road committee of residents. Like maybe we'll have I don't know, 4 or 5 residents from both areas of the township. So, north of Geddes and south of Geddes will have people participate on this road committee, and then they could make recommendations to the board. So that idea came up. I can tell you that we're going to be talking about that idea probably next at the next board meeting. So that's exciting. We are also, I don't know if you've ever, we don't have many parks on the north side of Geddes. There is the village, the Dixboro Village Green. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
I haven't. No, I
Okay,
haven't.
so that's on Plymouth Road. It was owned actually by the Ann Arbor Public School System. They donated it to a church, a Methodist church that's on a church street in this area. And it's a wonderful little green, it's sort of a square, a community square. Over the years, the township has supported maintenance, like maintenance, cutting grass and whatnot on this property. And also, they also have a use agreement with the Dixboro Green. Well, I'm really excited because when I was, being on the board, we were looking at how much money we've actually supported with renovating. There's a little schoolhouse on it. And we decided to get an appraisal of it, and the township was able to offer to purchase that property for it was pretty reasonable. It was like very reasonable. That should be done that should be finalized soon. So the township will get a new park on this side of town for, it was like $46,000, very, very reasonable. But better than that, well, I don't know if it's better, at Fireman's Park, that's another area where we put some of those ARPA funds into at Fireman's Park.
Yeah.
There was a drainage problem there where people would go to the park and they were getting their feet wet because the water wasn't draining properly.
Right.
So we spent some money fixing the drainage, but the best part of it is the Parks and Recreation Department is able to buy new playground equipment, and they're developing a walking path in Fireman's Park. So that's going to be a gem. So we're excited about that. What else? I mean, we do have a lot of things going on. We are also looking at ways to raise money or fund things from the sale that we have some property that we own in the township. And we're going to, there's one piece of property that's a pretty good piece of property on Plymouth Road. I think it's a 1.7 acre lot. We're going to see if we can sell it for a going rate around here, and then use those funds to put towards some other projects or things that we need. So we're good at. My background, by the way, is in finances. I have my bachelor's is in accounting. So I have that mindset where we're always looking for ways that we can either find revenue or use our funds a little differently. Or looking at the accounting. I mean, I get geeky with the finance stuff, so I should stop that. But anyway, so that's exciting. We're also excited because we're trying to get speed, and they call them speed humps rather than speed bumps, on Stevens Drive and speed humps in the Tanglewood subdivision that's near me. And this is to prevent people, or to just slow down traffic, because especially people who are cutting through our neighborhoods, for safety reasons, you don't want people just speeding through, cutting through neighborhoods. And I know that on Stevens Drive, they were experiencing some pretty dangerous things where people were coming around corners and almost, hitting children. So that we are working on that. What else are we working? Oh, sidewalks was a big thing last year. We, in the area that the residents where there are sidewalks, many of the ones that needed repair, were marked, and residents will pay for having those sidewalks repaired. And if there were some residents that fell below certain poverty standards, we were able to help them with fixing those sidewalks. So that was a big thing too. What else? Oh, and they completed a pump station on Clark Road. We did.
Okay.
That was taking a little while, and we were so glad to have that done. And did I write anything else well, there's just some, like administrative stuff that goes in all municipalities. We're proud that our master plan has, it's a 10-year master, it's a process, and it'll be a plan that will look 10 years into the future, just about how we want, how we would do developments, or, like what kind of buildings we would have in our community, or what kind of projects we want to focus on, especially for parks and recreation. They have a master plan as well. So some of the stuff sounds, not so, it's more perfunctory or more administrative, but the other stuff that we're doing is pretty exciting.
All right. It's very interesting to me, and also it's going to be interesting to a lot of the viewers of the show. It's going to be aired and remastered and put on CTN.
Okay.
Channel 17, public access, and also DirecTV Channel 99.
Great.
Just to let you know, and it'll be also aired on my Facebook page, and also on my YouTube channel, and also on my website at IthoughtYouKnewIpsy.com.
Mhm. Thank you very much.
All righty. So just let everybody know how they can reach out to you, and give them your website.
Okay, so it's still under development, but they can reach out to me with my email address. I can give it to you. My last name, Lindke, LINDKEBER @gmail.com.
All right.
And they can, yeah. But I'll have more information out. I'm like,
all right. Wonderful.
busy.
Is there anything else that you want to ask me, or that you would like to share with the public as well?
Well, I would like to tell the public for their voices to be heard. They can call any member of the board, but come and see us. Come to our meetings. If you can't get to the meetings, we're on, we have a Zoom way of accessing it.
Mm-hmm.
But it would, if there are things in the community that, if there are roads, you talked about the big sinkhole or the drainage hole, let us know. There are people that will absolutely respond, and people who really care, that are running for office, or that are actually, there's some staffing, at the township. The staff will, they're pretty responsive. But what I would say mostly to folks is, if you need something, if something's going on, please let us know, or just show up at our meeting and let us hear your voice. There's a couple places during the meeting that, we have public participation at the beginning of the meeting, and there's a place at the end of the meeting called Pleas and Petitions, please being PLEAS. So you can, let us know what you're thinking. But I have a question for you, Tyrone. Is there anything that you would like to see done in our community that's not being done?
Well, that sinkhole that I mentioned, when I went over there today, and went down that street and had to straddle it.
Well, I will promise you, I will call tomorrow to find out what's going on with that, and I'll get back with you.
All right, awesome. All right, there you have it, you guys. This is Tyrone Bridges, what I thought you knew. And also we have our Superior Township Board of Trustee candidate, Bernice Lindke, here live. Thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate you so much.
Well, thank you. And this has been an experience. Thanks a lot.
All right.
All
Thank you.
right.
Have a good
Okay.
day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.